Okay, testing my voice. Um, I'm a little late just because I was watching a couple of videos before I was starting at 12 or whatever. But that's all right. Everything seems to be going okay, I think. Okay, and eat that, and then remove my headphones. Although you can't see my headphones, obviously. We're gonna back to restream. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh, restream, and I'm gonna go ahead and go to chat. Goes the chat's up, and this up, and the thing, and then the things, and then the things here, and the doodads, and the deals, and the whatevers, and okay. So let's just forget about that the webcam only deal first. Uh, oh, oh, all right. What am I doing today? Today I'm going to finish up Zanzibar's introduction. Zanzibar the Great. That's his stage name. I haven't decided on if he's going to have a real name or not. Obviously, he would have a real name in our realm, our world, but for all intents and purposes, he's just Zanzibar the Great as far as story goes. Okay. Actually, I wonder if I should. Maybe I should do that. Um, just a sec. Notifications and live right now. Go ahead and live. We're live. Streaming live right now. Okay, and let me do the one other thing over here, and that is live. Right. Copy text. Oh, that's right. Forgot. Uh, read that discussion right now. And live now. Wait. Is my microphone on? My microphone is on. Okay, I already did that. That's good. And Allow. Alrighty. Here is the thing. And I don't know where the stupid... That's where that's at. Alright. So I have my thing up here, my other thing, and the thing, you know the thing, and... Alright. I'm going to distill these into, like, as few sentences as possible, just because I'm not doing the narrative part right now. Hey, I got a whole bunch of pages to go through. 1293. I suspect I have anywhere from 200 to 400 pages when I'm all done. And then I'll have to go back through it narratively once this is all done. Narratively, and then maybe rename some things, and then maybe I'll be able to release it as an interactive story. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep again last night, which happens sometimes. But, I mean, that's the way that goes sometimes. Give it just a little bit of... Actually, let's see something here. Okay. I did that, but... That's interesting. The way I have it here. Of course, if I'm looking over here, you can't see my face, can you? So that way, if I bring it back down, you kind of can see it. But zoomed out is the top of my head is kind of cut off, right? And I like to get a little bit of a happy medium here, because I will be looking down half the time. Like that. Anyways, that's not really important. Okay, so yesterday, Zanzibar was trying to evade the police, and he's got three different choices, three different destinations he can make, three different places to go to. He could go to the Lilliputian Hotel and Convention Center. He could go to the Bluff-Askew Hotel and Convention Center, or he can go to the Gulliver's Bar and Lounge. Gulliver's Lounge, Gulliver's Bar, maybe? I don't know if I'll shorten that or not. Okay. And there are three different things that he's got to do depending on where he goes. So if he chooses the Lilliputian, he's going to go straight towards all the old men leaving in cloaks, and he grabs the last wizard cloak off the rack, and he doesn't know whose it is, but since there doesn't seem to be any more people, as most of them start shuffling out, he grabs the last cloak and he goes. He goes into Enchanted lands. If he chooses Bluff-Askew, he goes in and he's trying to evade the police. He sees the banquet hall. I think it's the one with the banquet hall. Yeah, banquet hall. In fact, you might even see a sign. Enchanted lands. Enchanted Banquet B or something, because presumably they're using both hotels and convention centers to do their convention. And they're taking up two different hotels. So he'll probably see he'll see a sign and he'll think that looks cool or whatever. Like it'll say something like Enchanted Lands, a wizard convention B or something. Um, and he'll go towards it, and then he goes through the double doors of the banquet hall. He notices a bunch of guys shuffling to the right, and he sees a security guard, a police officer, come up, uh, come into view of the double doors as he's walking in, and so he dives behind a snack cart. And then as the officer is walking past the doors, uh, he starts moving the cart past the doors until he can get close enough to the portal to jump through. Then, of course, if he chooses the bar, he notices um, we might would say that the police they're getting close, but they're not there yet. In fact, maybe Zanzibar notices that the police stop into the bluff askew, right? And he'd already had gone to the bar. He's running, and if you decide to choose the bar is kind of in the middle. He goes in, sits in the bar. Uh, then he talks. Now he shouldn't have that much time, but he starts talking. This old guy sitting down, and he keeps craning his neck, trying to look outside the window to see if any cops are showing up yet, while he tries to figure out what to do. I might give a little bit of extra work to into the bar though. Okay, so here it says you want Zanzibar to enter the Lilliputian Hotel, hit one, right? Zanzibar decides to duck into sorry, I'm yawning a lot just because I'm sleepy, tired, and I need to get my sleep schedule back to normal. Problem with that lately. Okay, so I actually hope to get more than just this page. I hope to get the next one done too, but we'll see if that's the case. Okay. Looking. Um, I guess that's the narrative passing. I was gonna say, looking at the two giant hotels, he decides to choose the Lilliputian. But Zanzibar ducks into enters the Lilliputian Hotel. Maybe he notices a sign here too. In both hotels, they would have signs. Uh, Noticing a sign that reads, um, maybe I'll just put, okay. Maybe what they do is they disguise it as like a magician's like a magician's convention, and actually they're actually wizards, but the as a cover they do the magician convention. Actually, you know what? It'd be really funny. In fact, I think I will do that. Reads prestidigitators anonymous convention. Okay. Okay. And I'll with an arrow pointing in a direction. Let's say pointing to the right. We'll do it like that. Pointing to the right. He follows the sign to the ballroom where he sees another sign that looks like a standard convention sign stating guest speakers and so forth. He goes in and sees a bunch of elderly men, most with beards, and fall off into a side room. I don't really know what the side room is. I just assume that there's something. It's a ballroom. Maybe it's a maintenance closet or who knows what. Shuffle off into the side room, and he catches up to them and noticing they're taking their cloaks off of a roll-in rack. Zanzibar grabs the last one, seeing as nobody else seems to be exiting. At first, Zanzibar assumes it's a door, but then realizes it's something else. And after taking a deep breath, he walks through. Now, typically tourists, they end up on the flying trains, and he's not going to end up on the flying train. I'm not sure where I want him to end up, though. Maybe at the Renaissance Fair. Maybe, maybe what happens is, even though they could go their respective dailies, actually, you know what? I'm gonna tie this in a little bit to another location that I already have existing. That's the Scarborough Fair uh, chicken restaurant, or SFC as it's sometimes called. Uh, Scarborough Fair chicken. Um, In fact, they all end up in Scarborough Fried Chicken. Now, Scarborough Fried Chicken is supposed to be a huge place. It's like any fast food place. You think of Chick-fil-A or you think of Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever. But there a lot of wizards packed into the spot. Okay. Now he walks through and then he's gonna see some locals and stuff. So basically what's gonna happen is he's gonna end up in Scarborough Fried Chicken, um, which is a changed location, so that will probably be another room that I add in here in just a sec. And then a bunch of them are going to be there. Actually, maybe we'll have this in phases. Make it like it's a logistic thing, because really, I'm thinking in my head as a logistic thing. I'm thinking Scarborough Fried Chicken is dinky, so it's enough just to do part of their convention. So Zanzibar's group, when he gets there, because this is the Lilliputian, he they get there first, and then what happens is a lot of the wizards say their goodbyes um, before opening new portal. They actually take. I guess it would be kind of tedious, but yeah, they don't have to be there, do they? Because I was thinking they would leave for their own respective realms once they're in there. So maybe I'll have some wide open space instead, because there's no reason for them to be in a single building, you know, to be that short of space, right? Give them a lot of space. He walks through. Okay. And what we're going to do, we're going to say hit 1 to continue. And that's how that works. Let's go ahead and save the room data. Okay. Oh, it's up here, still I. Okay. 12:24. So up to 1:30. All right, let's see if we can knock the rest of these out. This is like half a page here, and by half I mean it's part of, like, this is a single page here. This here, right? The original page, the Zanzibar the Great escapes the police into Enchanted Lands. Um, so and then he chooses the three, right? So technically this is one page. This is all one page, not this one. This one's the next page. But these pages in here are off of this one main page. So when I say get done with it, I mean completely done to where I'm at this point. And this point he is in Enchanted Lands, and then he goes to some random village. He walks in, and he notices a few of them have gold, and asks them if they know anything about 3-card Monty, or was it Find the Missing Queen? Was one of the deals? Maybe that's the British version. Is like Find the Missing Queen. It's the same thing. 3-card Monty. Except with the Find the Missing Queen, it's a deck of cards, right? It's just 3 cards usually, and well, 3-card Monty is the same thing, anyways. Um, but yeah. So we get to here, we get to inside Enchanted Lands, And then Lapswood Edge is actually, I think, where we pick up with John and Hubert again. I don't know. I might still stick with Hubert just because I've been using it. I've been using the name Hubert for a long time. Okay, so ideally, okay. Let's assume I have 80 pages total left because I'm almost, 93 to 83. I'm almost to page to location 10. Um, Actually, let's go back to the order thing. My order is just kind of more or less a guideline now. Oh, and I should have actually uploaded this to GitHub, but maybe I'll do that later if I think about it today. Anyways, let's go to design documents. Let's go to order. There we go. Okay. So where are we at? We are at, let's see, Chester K, Train Cabin, Lapswood, Cerulean 1, Random Villages. We're at Cerulean 1 here. So we're officially at 10. That means that I have 83 more pages to go. Okay? So we're going to round down to 80 to make my math easier for me. And I'm going to say that I'm going to say okay, so if I did 1 page a day, I'm only doing 5 days a week. So that's 5 pages per week. Okay? 10 pages every 10 weeks. No. Every 2 weeks is 10 pages. 2 weeks, 10 pages. 4 weeks, a month is going to be 20 pages. It's 20 pages a month. So that comes to 4 months. That means I'm going to get done with this in 4 months. Now, if I manage to do 2 pages a day, which I'm not sure I'll be able to do, but if I am able to do it, and I'm able to get it processed and get going on it, then 2 a day means that 4 months. Four months is 20. Okay. If I get 2 a day, that's 20 for 2 weeks, or 40 for a month. So that chops it down to 2 months. If I get 2 pages a day done, that's 2 months. And if I get 4 pages a day, that's a month. So maybe, I don't know if I'll be able to do this today at all. In fact, I have to get back to my layout tool at some point, but I need to get it. I'm getting like kind of a kickstart on this. Um, so if I get 4 pages a day, then I can get the rest of this then in. And what is today? Today's July 8th. Okay. 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 So what if I do 3 pages a day? That's 15 per week. 15 and 15 for 2 weeks. That's 30 for 2 weeks. That is so a month and a half. So if I'm able to manage to stay, so I actually try to get anywhere from 2 to 4 pages done today, just so I can get it done in 1 to 2 months. Anyways, let's get back to this. At least I know what I'm doing here right now. I don't know what I'm going to do next after this, so okay, so now the way I set this up is I set up the Blefuscu to be number 2 and Gulliver's Bar to be number 3, despite the fact that it's actually supposed to be in between both of them. The bar is supposed to be in between both the hotels. So, okay. So let's do this. Okay. 0 to quit. Hit 1 to continue. So, and then Zanzibar runs into the Blefuscu. And the first thing he sees is a sign that says PE, no, PA, Prestigious Anonymous Convention, A, PA Convention, B. At the we have the bar room, we have the banquet hall. So this is the bank. This is actually the banquet at the banquet hall. To your left, down the hall, first door on your left. Okay, first door on your left. All right. So it's gonna be the banquet hall is actually gonna be up there up front. Okay, first door on your left. At the banquet hall, your left. Down the hall, first door on your left. With an arrow pointing, also pointing to the left. Okay. Zanzibar notices a security guard following him as he enters the banquet hall. Actually, he's going to be moving to the left instead of the right because I always picture the Lilliputian on the left and the Blefuscu on the right, and they're going to be going left and right, respectively. He notices a snack cart and runs to hide behind it. As the guard stops, he stops, and then when the guard starts moving again, he starts Zanzibar moves the snack cart, oblivious to the let's see, oblivious. It's gonna be the guard's gonna be oblivious. along with the guard. Oblivious to the guard is the fact the cart is moving of its own free will. When Zanzibar reaches all the other men shuffling into he doesn't know that this is a portal to a portal. We'll say a portal. He decides to shuffle in along with them. Let's go ahead and save it. And the last one, we got the bar. Now the bar is going to be kind of, it's not going to be tricky, but I'm going to put a little bit of extraness to it. Okay. Give me a sec. Give me a moment, please. There we go. Just give me a second. I might just go with the simple thing. And the simple thing is just to ask the wizard to help him, to show him. He'll show him and he'll duck into Enchanted Lamps from that back alley. Um, just a moment. Let me think for a sec. Okay. Um, might have to pull Rock out because I'm still trying to think of anything extra that I need to do other than him talking to the old guy. Hmm. Okay. I need something to wake me up. I don't even think caffeine would do it. Let us see for a moment. Okay. So he walks into this bar and he notices well, the weirdness. Okay, whatever. All right. I don't know. I guess maybe I should pull Rock out again and ask about ideas. Okay, so let's read what I actually put over here. Choose the bar, there's not much room. There's a bartender woman sitting at the bar. It looks like another old man sitting at a small table. Talks to him, finds out he's a wizard from Enchanted Land. Zanzibar, thinking he's so drunk he's making stuff up. Mentions he's never seen a real wizard before and is curious if this portal thing is real. When the wizard tries to reassure Zanzibar it is real, he asks him to show him. And when they leave the bar to go to the alley in the back, he takes hold of an amulet he's wearing, mutters a few words under his breath, and the portal materializes in front of them, and they both enter into it. Okay. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Maybe I should just leave it like that. I mean, I could do the whole. Should I do that, or should I add a little bit of an extra, oomph to it? In the game, when I start adding puzzles, this would definitely be a place for a puzzle. But then maybe I should make sure that maybe just to keep things rolling, I should just pretty much do what I had here. Actually, you know what? I should have actually copied this for those other two, but I'm gonna do this differently. I'm gonna go ahead and copy the text in here. Oops. I'm gonna copy the text in here, and then um, I'm gonna try to reduce the sentence count here. Zanzibar ducks into the bar. Uh, okay. Zanzibar ducks into the lover's bar and notices the bartender, a lady sitting at the bar, and an old man sitting at one of the few tables in the place. Um, Bar talks to the old man and gets him to the old man. And finds out he claims to be a wizard and that he's just having a few more drinks before returning to his own realm. Zanzibar makes him do the magic switch after going into the alley behind the bar. Finds the old man conjuring up some sort of portal, and then both of them step through. Now, granted, this isn't much different, but I just wanted to get it down. It's possible it would be even better if it was even shorter. That's in the Golder's bar. Talks to an old man. And talks to an old man. Where is my period, doggone ya? There we go. The old man claims to be a wizard and that he's just having a few more dicks before return to his own realm. This makes him do the magic. After which after going in the alley behind the bar, finds the old man conjuring up some sort of portal, and both of them step through. Okay, and then we go hit 1 to continue. Like so. And okay, and let's go ahead and save it. Okay. Now we got 3 different deals, and I can almost say that that page is technically done now. Okay, so did I turn it back? No, I actually didn't turn it back here at the desktop. Here we go. It doesn't matter that much. It's just my mic's on. That's really the important part to my mic. It's not even the webcam itself. Okay. So let me go ahead and do the thing. You know the thing. Okay. I'm gonna make this since it's random villages. I'm gonna make this random villages like it already is, but this is gonna be handled in a couple other pages below it, leading up to whatever the next one is. But let's do this first, which is let me go ahead and get GitHub up here, and added some rooms, added more rooms. Okay, commit to main, push origin. Now that's good because when I go in here, I'm actually going to delete the original text of that page like that, and I won't need to update GitHub until my next page. Okay, so here's the deal. We actually got to this page. This page is actually when he enters into random villages. Basically, he's in the Enchanted Lands now. And actually, where is? I need to find a way of putting these staggered so that I can actually go ahead and select what I want. Anyways, okay. So basically, okay, let me go back to script and let me go to, we're in load all rooms already. And this time we're going to start with 10, I believe. Let's go ahead and go to the rooms folder. And actually, it's not going to be 10, is it? It's going to be whatever. Whatever that's linking to. What's that linking to? It's back to 2D. Let's go to here. Let's check out what and see what it's linked to. It is linked to 10. It's linked to Lapswood Edge. Okay, Lapswood Edge. All right, so 0, 1, 0, and I need to go into the script, and I need to go ahead and type in 0, 0, 1, 0. Save it. Okay. 2D. Scene. Reload save scene. Okay. So now oh, I see. We have a bunch of random village. Okay, let's see where Lapswood Edge goes to first. This goes to 11 toward the dwarf mines. Okay, let's zoom out. Sky 11, Lapswood 1 and 2. Lapswood Edge. Okay. So Lapswood Edge here goes to what? Goes to dwarf mines. Okay. Wait a second. What? Oh. Oh, these two are linked. That's interesting. These three are linked. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, these are actually connected. These ones aren't connected. Of course, none of these are connected either. So let's take all these. Oh, got it. Move this over here with them. All right. S. Save room data. They'll create the. Yep, certain ones of these rooms don't exist because of like going into the next number and the next number. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this and you're going to shift add these, shift add the rest, and move these up a little bit. So, go S, and we're gonna save out the room data, so it saves up the metadata and the positions and everything. And then we're gonna zoom in, zoom in. Okay. First random villages. Yeah, the first random villages. Now, I have one that actually leads to this in the sense that that I need to come up with something that actually links to this, other than it's going to just say continue because it's going to switch back to Hebert and John right now. Um, okay, some of the kingdom. Wait a second, what? Oh, okay. So, the feature for the first local you see some random villages gets its crow chorus to steal from the locals. So that's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna put on a show for the first time in Enchanted Lands. Um, so you just step through the portal and see. I wonder something. I wonder if he should go through some random villages. Let's see something here for a second. Random villages 5. Let's see how many random villages there are here. There are only 5 random villages total. There's 6 random villages total. 5 with the numbers. Okay, so we're actually going to start with random villages 6 and 7 and 8 or whatever. Okay. I think for a second. It's already 1 o'clock. Yeah, so it's gonna do these next random villages, and it's gonna start with random village 6. Okay, that's what we're gonna do, and we're not gonna worry about the other random villages here just yet. Okay. Actually, let's look at the other random villages first. Okay. Does more shows in some other villages. I wonder if I shouldn't do a little rejiggering here. Oh, this is the one where he actually steals from Max, though, which is significant. Okay, so he scams Max. Max leaves the last show Zanzibar put on. But on the road, discovers his money gone, catches up with Zanzibar in another village, confronts him after a show. Okay, and then we go to 3. Oh, this is a different this is a different village one, which is I could almost call this a sky one. I could have made this a sky one. And honestly, I could probably still do it. Maybe I should do that. Completely rename this to the next sky one in order. I have to rename this one too, though. Travels to a few villages and collects some tax money. 5. Max's Max proposed one big show. Max's proposal. Okay. Okay, let's go back to here and let's go check out what it's pointing to. Nestor's Cave. That's right, because he tries some things and then he next goes to Nestor's Cave, which is kind of like a bully to him. And I think I'll do that. I think let me go check the sky ones. See how many sky ones there are. We're already up to 13. But make this 14. I rename that as 14. Okay, let's go ahead and do this thing here. And let's go ahead and rename. We're gonna rename Random Villages 3 to. Right, so we're gonna rename each of those. But we're gonna name this to Sky 14. So let's 005 Sky 14. Okay, so let's rename this 5 Sky 13. 5 Sky 13. No, Sky. Gotta make it 14. Sky 14. So let's rename this. Let's go to the door. 5 Sky 14. Sky 15. So right. Okay. That's Sky 14 and Random Builders 2. And then we're going to have to rename each. Well, I have to rename each of these because. Alright, I gotta find them too, though, when I do this. Actually, I could just save this one first here because all it's doing is changing the name to this. So there will no longer be a Random Villages 3. It'll be a hole in it, but I'll fix that in just a second. So let's go ahead and save the room data. And let's go into here, make sure that everything's here. There's 14, and instead of Random Villages 3, there's no Random Villages 3. Whoop. Hope I didn't paste anything here. See 1, 2, 4, and 5. Okay, that's fine. And then let's go ahead and new tab. And we're going to go to projects phase 1. We're going to go to documents. We're going to go ahead and do like list orders so I can know which one is which. Okay. So we no longer have a Random Villages 3, which is fine, but Sky's still going to go where it's going to go to. We need to know which one goes to 4 and which one goes to 5, right? Random Villages 4 and Random Villages 5. Is that the... Is list order? List order. Yeah, list orders are correct, right? Okay. Okay, so where is random villages 4 and 5? So let's find that. Fairy God College 1. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's go to... We might have to do these manually. Fairy God College. Fairy God College 1. This goes to random villages 4. We're going to change that to 3. Say 3 and 3. Like so. We're going to save that. And then we want to find... Let's see what we want to find. We want to see where 5 is. So where is 5? Random villages 5. So Grand Enchanted Hotel Room. And we want to change this to be 4. And that's also 4. That. So now I need to rename 3 and 4. So 4 and 5 to 3 and 4. So let's rename this. I'm going to rename this to 3. And we're going to rename this to 4. Save it, and we're going to save room data. Now, if I'm right, there should be only a 3 and a 4. Unless I screwed it up, which I might have screwed it up. And where'd the random villages go? Screw those up? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this goes to 2. There's some shows. Max attends one of his shows. 2. The Sky 14. Lee's last show. Gets up, can run some. Okay. That's alright. 3. Collect some tax money. Go to Max Mines, right? And 4 is the North Citizens, and that looks good. Fine. It actually looks like it's correct now. It's correct the way this is, and these go to the right things, I believe. If there's some kind of mistake, something goes wrong, I'll be able to know. And that will work for that. All right. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Back. Go to B. And okay. Okay. So okay, so now we go back to, let's go back to this. Okay, so it's not going to be a hard time getting from here to here because this is just it's a change of scenery, change of characters. This will be a little bit tougher just because I need to figure out what extra stuff happens. Okay, so he's going to go to some random village. He's going to walk for a while onto the road. And actually, I don't even know which way he's going to walk. That's a thing, I guess. I'll need to, here in the near future, start mapping Enchanted Lands. Like, I got kind of a general idea, but I don't have of certain things. But, the Renaissance Fair, otherwise known as Orthogon Alley. But I'll have to start I guess I have to start making a map. Maps of everything. And even maps of the paths that these characters take, right? It'll actually kind of be my first visuals. In fact, what'll be kind of okay about it is now in order to keep some kind of interest going, I should start doing some visual stuff, right? Maybe some concepting or whatever. I'm not having any graphics until like phase 5 or 6 or something. One of the phases, I will have I will add the graphics to it. Start adding graphics to it. But so I'm going. Well, I don't want to do any graphics right now because this phase is not the graphics phase. The graphics phase is when I should be starting the graphics, right? But to keep this interesting, I should still probably start doing like some concepting, some ideas for characters and that sort of thing. You know, it's not stuff that actually be used. Like the stuff that what I'm going to do is there'll be backgrounds. I forget which phase it is. Like I said, 5 or 6 or something, 4 or 5 or 6 or somewhere in there. Um, where I start making some thumbnails about certain scenes, certain rooms, descriptions. So I make a thumbnail sketch of it, and then once I get the thumbnail sketch done, I will actually insert them into the game. Just kind of they'll just kind of sit on the side of a page. Like I'll see if I can figure out in that phase I'll find a way of rearranging the area for the text so it doesn't take the whole screen. Instead, it'll take like part of the screen, or it'll take whatever part of the screen is not being used by a background or by a thumbnail. And that's how I'll do it. I won't do anything too fancy in there, but maybe that's the thing I'll have to do. I'll have to rework an interface too when I start adding those things in there. The thumbnails won't actually even take that long exactly. I'll pick like a few choice places, do thumbnails, and then the rest of it will be trying to figure out how to redo the room viewer so that I can accommodate the graphics and the text. I'm gonna do that, and even that is gonna be in 3D space. I'm already gonna put everything to 3D space. In fact, by that point, I don't know if I will. Maybe I'll leave the 3D boxes there, but I'll actually be finding a way of putting the thumbnail image as sort of like a 2D billboard or something. I don't know if I'll do that either. Not sure. Might be just a 2D overlay. Okay, so Zanzibar is now in this new land, and he's looking around, and he's gonna wander around for a little while, wandering down the road. He's going to come to a village where various houses are, huts and things. Um, it'll be some random village, and maybe it's like a one streeter. For instance, he comes in there and there's like a tavern and what else? I don't know, whenever you find a typical like medieval like village, right? Apothecary, um, a tavern, an inn. Um, Oftentimes the inn doubles as a tavern or has a tavern inside the inn, and so it'll just be this and a couple of the thatch roof houses, stuff like that, and then maybe he'll notice some people walking around doing stuff. I'm not sure because he's gonna see some locals. Maybe. Um, okay, so some venues are gonna be outdoors. Um, but maybe the first thing he does is he actually goes into he goes into a tavern. And he does a few tricks in the tavern, so that could be one of the things that he does. That's kind of a good start. Where maybe he can do this kind of okay, so I think I had this problem before. Uh, where okay, his tricks are magic tricks. They have real magic there, but his tricks are just tricks. And let's think here for a second. Magic might be a day-to-day occurrence, so it's not something you go and see. You wouldn't see somebody do magic. I had this problem before. Um, well, entertainment still, right? And he would be an entertainer, so maybe magic wouldn't impress him, right? But maybe he could entertain him some other way. In fact, let me just go ahead and I'm gonna actually I'm not I'm contemplating not using Grok now though, because the whole America Party thing, you know, it's just like he's gonna. It looks like Elon's gonna like draw away like conservative votes, and I'm a conservative Christian, so um, conservative Christian, then Republican, then MAGA, if you want to look at it like that. And you can dislike me if you want for being a conservative, which is your business. That's okay. But I'm. How come this stupid thing didn't? How come they did this with the history yesterday? Okay, okay, good. Hmm. Okay, so I got the Zanzibar introduction out of the way, and the first thing he does in EL is today is Tuesday. So I got the in EL is on some locals out of some coinage. Um, Trying to figure out where he does this random village out in the street, maybe in a tavern or something. and if the world runs on magic, then magic tricks might not be impressive enough to draw a crowd. Thoughts on that? Thoughts on that? Let's see what Grok says. It's almost time for my break, which is cool. Because at first I was like falling asleep. I was like, what am I going to do next? And then now I'm just like, I'm on a roll kind of. After Chainlands, after passing through the portal, the con locals out of pointed here, deciding location, possibly random village street or tavern. Considering the magic run world, this mundane magic tricks might not impress enough to draw a crowd. Village street, a bustling market square in a small yellow village, Mistmore Hamlet. Zanzibar could set up a street performance, leveraging the open space to attract curious locals, tourists, or merchants. Okay. Yes, tavern, a likely tavern, filled with locals, travelers, magical creatures. The intimate setting suits Zanzibar's common charm, letting him work a smaller crowd with personal flair. Market stall area. Corner of a village market. Okay, village market. That's actually not a bad idea. I should probably do that. Poses vendor, blending his calm with magical commerce around him. Zanzibar stage tricks might seem quaint in Enchanted, so you could exaggerate them as exotic immortal magic to intrigue locals unfamiliar with non-magical sleight. He claims his coin vanish trick is a rare earth spell. Fake magical props. Use cheap prop, letting trinket brought from a market to pass as a minor wizard calling locals into betting coinage on a rigged magic challenge. Storytelling flair. As con man, Zanzibar could rely on charisma, spinning a tale, draw a crowd, and fleece them with the scam selling fake enchanted coins. Yeah, and actually, not everybody would be magicians. Your wizards and stuff would be magicians, and then of course the evening, or in my case, afternoon still, rook. So afternoon mate. Obviously, being American, I don't use the term mate very often. I know what you mean by it because I've heard it a lot, but it's like mate. I might end up getting used to that though. Seeing you say it all the time, I might start using terms like mate or whatever. Matey, evening matey. Yes. Okay, so right now all I'm doing is, as usual, Rook. You're there just in time for my break here, and actually, I'm thinking I might change up how I do my live streams. I'll have to clear it with Dad, and I'll have to probably go on a kind of a schedule. Because what I'm thinking is I might do 2 hours at night before I go to bed, which at my time would be um, about from 9 to 11, and in the UK it'd be like well into the morning, so like 9 o'clock would be like 2 o'clock your time or whatever, and but and then the other would be doing it in the morning. My morning would be 7:30. I think I said 7:30. 7:30 to 9:30. So 7:30 would be afternoon for you, I guess. Would be evening. Yeah, I don't know. You wouldn't be able to listen then if I did that. Yeah, you wouldn't be coming in there really. Um, but I don't know. I'm kind of decided of changing it up a little bit, just as far as chunks of time goes, to make it more convenient to do some other stuff. and who knows, maybe I'll get more listeners, viewers, or whatever. Anyways, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to come up with ideas for uh, when Zanzibar first comes into Enchanted Lands. He's simply a magician. He's just he's from our realm, and he's a sleight of hand. He's basically a con man and a thief, and so he's going to be conning a few locals um out of some coinage, and um his magic may not be that impressive, so you might not be able to use his magic as more of a distraction or something. Street act trick. Card tricks is mortal magic. Con tavern patrons. A tavern spends a tell about unique earth spells, convincing drinkers to pay for a fake magical trinket. Poses market vendor. Actually mundane to curious tourists pocketing their coinage. Notes: Tavern feels strongest for intimacy and humor. Evaluate Street works for a bigger crowd, but risks exposure in a magic savvy world. Market stall blends both, but needs prop focus. Locals might scoff at basic tricks, so Xanathar uses Quicksilver. He doesn't actually have a Quicksilver amulet, although he could take it from the drunk wizard, maybe. Um, I'll have to think about it. It's about time for my break. So I will talk to you in about 30 minutes. Okay. Okay, let's go to break. On break. Uh, and let's go ahead and mute the mic. Okay, I'm back. Not that it matters that much, but at least I am back anyways. Okay, so okay. Back from break. Back. Okay. Uh I was wait a second, how it still claims I'm on break because it's so out of whack here. Weird. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and refresh my restream deal, which means I lose the chat. Although the chat is actually still there on YouTube and Rumble, but not here. Just to get this up to speed here. I suppose. Okay. Back over here. I suppose. Let's see. Let me think for a sec. Um. Let's have to make sure the logic of my world is consistent. Let's leave wizards, sorcerers, witches. Enchanters, entresses. Like use magic regularly. The rest, the resort is fairly modern. Indoor plumbing, lighting, magic mirror communication. It's just that the resort equivalence 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 equivalence. Okay, so the resort equivalence usually run on some magical source. A tavern on logic, sleight of hand. How do most fantasy novels, comics, etc. handle entertainment aspects? There is still entertainment in a world with magic, correct? Correct. Saving AI to write a story for you. I'm watching. Yeah. Here. I'll go ahead and type it in the in the chat here. I usually just ideas and rarely take ideas directly from the AI. I'm trying to figure out a way to I'm trying to figure out a logic that allows him to do his magic tricks, even though magic might be somewhat commonplace in Enchanted Lands. It's a magic kingdom after all. Of course, you still the regular populace doesn't necessarily use magic, other than having kind of modern conveniences. For instance, telecommunication, right? Communication via like magic mirror, right? Instead of a phone, instead of some sort of a video, video calling thing, video conferencing, they use magic mirrors, right? Lighting is magic lighting, basically, based off Quicksilver, and which is Quicksilver is this aura that basically the whole kingdom runs on. And the idea is that the name Quicksilver is a nickname for whatever its scientific name would be, you know. No need to type. I'll leave everyone in terror mystery. Okay. Yeah, yeah. One-sided conversations are fun. uh, yeah. So, yeah. I'm kind of running some ideas because basically he's a con man. Okay, so what he does is he basically does his magic act in our realm. He does magic act, and then he's got this crow with him, and his crow is really good at stealing stuff, and so his crow is trained to do this. So while he's doing the sleight of hand up here up on the stage, uh, Corvus, his crow, manages to go and like pick people's pockets and stuff, and usually they don't even notice it until like he's long gone, you know. And um, so he's running from the police, and he manages to get into Enchanted Lands, and slave wordsmith. Uh, yeah, yeah, Rumble's cool. I don't. I think occasionally I have one or two viewers in Rumble. Uh, I do got 7 followers on Rumble. That's cool. I don't know if it says. Oh well, it says I got 2 eyeballs in Rumble. So apparently 2 people are watching from Rumble. I think. Um, but anyways, okay. So I'm kind of come up with ways to make a logic because he cons people out of their money. He uses his magic act to kind of distract them, while Corvus actually does the thievery. And so he escapes the police. He comes into Enchanted Lands, and he realizes he's not on the run from anybody here, and this is cool, right? And he goes into a random village somewhere, and he notices that they have like these gold coins and stuff, and so uh, that and so he realized, hey, you know what? There's an opportunity here. I can go in and probably fleece all these people here, and maybe who knows? Maybe I'll get back to my world someday. Maybe when the heat has died down or whatever. So I'm kind of come up with the thing like if he did a magic act in a magic kingdom, would it be that impressive? Now I'm sure they'd still have entertainment, but not necessarily. You wouldn't have a magic show like a magic show, right? Because they do magic. It's kind of semi common. Even if the locals can't do it and some tourists can't do it, it's more common than it is in say our realm, right? for instance. So, exploring how entertainment works in fantasy settings ensure the world logic of Enchanted Lands stays consistent, particularly in Zanzibar's con scene. You establish the Enchanted Lands magic only used mainly by wizards, sorcerers, witches, enchanters, and not everyday locals, and the resort as modern amenities powered by magical sources. You're considering how entertainment functions in such a world to support Zanzibar's mundane magic tricks, impressing non-magical locals. Fantasy novels, comics, games, and other media often depict entertainment as a mix of magical and mundane activities tailored to the world's culture, magic prevalence, and social structure. Here's how entertainment is typically portrayed. And I know one thing, of course, is Lord of the Rings, in the movie and the book, where Gandalf brings the fireworks. Now, of course, he doesn't do his magic. He doesn't perform his magic for entertainment, but the fireworks, you could say, it's almost like they're magic, even though they're not. They kind of work like fireworks works in our you know in the real world, basically. So, anyways, let's see. Performances, theater music, common fantasy settings like Lord of the Rings. Hobbit songs and dances at the Prancing Pony, a song of fire, ice and fire, bards performing at feasts. Okay, bards, right? I got it. Non-magical locals enjoy storytelling, music, plays, often in taverns or town squares. Okay, so I suppose now I suppose if he's an entertainer of any kind, if like he's any good, which apparently in our world he is, because he's thus far he's eluded the police for quite some time, and only just uh, this time, um, this last time, did the police actually finally catch up to him, right? So evidently he's really good. So that means his act is really good, which means he's got the flair for storytelling, for misdirection, and he's supposed to be really. So that would indicate that he's a really good con man, um, even though he steals stuff. And so that being said, he would still be doing some sort of entertainment, but he wouldn't necessarily be showcasing his magic, I don't think. Let's see. Magical shows and worlds like Harry Potter, magical performances, Dumbledore's Enchanted Lights at Hogwarts Feast, or magical circuses. The Night Circus by Aaron Morgenstern dazzle audiences. Wizards might use minor spells for flair, but non-magical folks really see these. Okay, that's a thought, right? So there would be magical performances, I guess. There'll be things that only magic can do, and maybe if you aren't able to do real magic yourself or even magic tricks yourself, you still might be impressed, right? Might be cool, some cool stuff, but it has to be tailored in such a way where it doesn't seem like it's our world. Like he's just conjuring something out of thin air, you know? They can conjure stuff out of thin air, right? A wizard can conjure stuff out of thin air, right? Uh, is Zanzibar a magician? I thought he was a rich muggle similar. No, no, no. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and type this in here, just in case anybody wants to know. I guess. No, no. He's a magician. Chiefly, he's a magician, but he's also a con artist. In fact, his whole thing is like I said, he steals from his audiences basically, and so while he's doing his act, Corvus, his crow is actually his pet crow is actually going and lifting wallets and purses and watches and things, and he's supposed to be really good. And of course, the idea is that he's really well trained, or you could almost say maybe the crow, maybe there's something a little bit different. Maybe he's from some place, and maybe he actually uses magic to be able to do his thievery. But in any case, yeah. So Zanzibar is a magician. Zanzibar the Great is a stage name. I haven't come up with like a regular, his regular name. He would have a regular name like John Smith or something, But Zanzibar the Great is his is a stage name, right? Basically. So as I explained on stream, Zanzibar is a magician, and he's got to be a very good one, especially if he's eluded police for so long. His pet crow, Corvus, does all the actual thievery. But Zanzibar is also a con artist. So, okay. So, let's see, we got theater, music, magical shows, bards, lute, or storytelling, making Zanzibar sleight of hand tricks seem exotic as they're unfamiliar with both mortal and magical performances. Yeah, there could be another thing too. I didn't think about too, and that is, um, if we know a lot of the illusions are tricks. We know like when they take a card and they kind of levitate it. It's usually there's usually like a super thin like wire or string or something, and they do it in such a way where it looks like it's floating, right? I'm not even saying that I know that's how the actual trick works. I'm just saying in general, you know that it's a trick, that it's not real magic. You know, they're not really making something levitate. They're making it look like it levitates, right? Or it just even sleight of hand. You pull something out of the air, and usually you're palming it, right? And so you're doing things in such a way where they don't notice your hand. They don't notice it coming up. You know, stuff like that, right? So we know. Let's see. What's the time period? Is this where wizards are avoiding police? Nice puzzle solving plot can be injected into Zanzibar scenes. Yeah, yeah. I you know, I haven't really thought of any specific puzzles that I'm going to do just yet for Zanzibar. But later on, I'm gonna actually have puzzles in there. But before I can have puzzles, I need inventory. I need a save state system. There's several things that I need in there to actually make actual puzzles right now. Right now, this is just like a branching tree, and you're not even really playing the game here. You're just you're picking choices so that you get different text coming up or different different flavor, so that each time you read through it or go through it, it's a little bit different each time, right? Because if you make a different choice, then it comes out a little bit different. When I actually get to the game part, and this is like I said, it's gonna be when you have inventory. It's gonna be when there's a parser in there, and you'll be able to do full commands, and so puzzles aren't gonna be there for a little while, just yet. Here, let me talk. Let me RQ robot. It's probably not watching, so um, um, Zanzibar is from our uh, is from our so he's just a regular magician, you know, magic tricks and such. He escapes into Enchanted. Um, he's running from the police because they catch him stealing in his last show. And I'm using Zanzibar the Great as a stage name for this character. I know Zanzibar is its own country, but it's the name of a country, so it sounds exotic. Um, can't be such a great wizard. He's not a real wizard. He's a magician that puts on an act, like when you go to Las Vegas. Yes, an illusionist. Uh, the possible outlook of Zanzibar you showed yesterday helped us understand greatly. Yeah, people that are watching at least. People that aren't watching, I guess, are gonna be able to get it, which is, I mean, it's okay. You don't have to watch, if you don't want to. If you think I'm boring or you're not interested in this kind of thing, so that's cool. Anyways, yeah, thanks Rick for the welcome back. As usual, I didn't really notice it because I was paying attention to the chat and stuff. I'm actually I'm I'm actually explaining this stuff. When you see me explaining this stuff, I'm talking to Bob is watching, and he doesn't have a Google account, so he's talking to me via IRC in the game dev channel on the same network. I don't know if you're actually in the game dev channel on Libera.chat, but so I'm sort of talking to him, kind of. I'm also typing because some of the guys in game dev aren't actually watching the stream. So um, yeah, yeah, yes, an illusionist. That's why I suggest you generate at least some placeholder picture for the characters. First I thought Zanzibar, a genie in the box. A fraud, that's what he is. That's good. Not boring, man. Just trying to follow. Uh, yeah, that's cool. Um, Wayne S. Exactly. Okay, so back to the dilly. I so I'm asking Grok to explain to me about usually how entertainment works in some of these deals. I mean, I know a little bit, because I've read some fantasy stuff. I'm not like super deep into fantasy. Like I haven't read a lot of stuff. I've read Lord of the Rings. I've read a few things, right? Um, I used to be a reader like when I was a kid, like a lot, like a lot. In fact, at school I used to have my book and I used to read while I was walking down the hall. We'd all be walking in a line down the hall for some reason, going somewhere, and I'd be I'd be reading, or I'd just be reading by when I went to different class and stuff. But later on, I just I got out of the practice, I guess. It's what happens when you spend too much time on the computer and stuff. Now, your attention span goes short, and then you stop doing stuff that they used to do. Used to take actual thought process to do, right? Anyways, let's see, magical shows like Harry Potter. Okay, games and competitions, tavern games, card games, dice or betting games are common. As seen in The Witcher or Dragon Age. Yeah. Okay. So gambling, yes. In fact, that's actually a good usage for Zanzibar to gain stuff is by he knows how to palm things. How to play the cards. So basically, he knows how to cheat. So he could actually cheat somebody out of cards or dice or something. So that would be something that he could do. Dozen dragons wizards might compete in spellcasting duels or magical tournaments. These are rare for commoners. Misborn by Brandon Sanderson has thieves using minor magic for scams, similar to Zanzibar's Kong. Okay, that's not a bad idea either. Um, okay, for example, Zanzibar could be running a rigged card game in the tavern, passing off his immortal magic enticing non-magical locals to bet coins unaware it's sleight of hand. Yeah, I didn't think about that too. It just wouldn't be that he wouldn't like do a magic show. He wouldn't do a illusionary magic show. He might do show that's a magic show. I don't know. It's like what they would do in um what they might do in a fantasy deal if you had real magic, right? Some sort of performance deal, some sort of deal where maybe it's images of animals or something that don't exist or something, and they do that for entertainment, even though they know it's magic, maybe stuff like that, I guess. Public celebrations, fantasy worlds like The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss feature market festivals with jugglers, acrobats, and storytellers, drawing diverse crowds. Magical displays are rare treats for non-magic folks. Yeah, yeah. So, the idea here is that he's going to be an entertainer. So, I can still make that work though, even with the even the fact that his magic isn't real magic here. So, street performers, comes like Saga, uh, show buskers or performers in markets using minimal magic or skills to entertain. Non-magical oddities are drawn to novelty. Zanzibar chooses a village street he can perform in a market by claiming his tricks are earth magic to non-magical merchants who rarely see wizardry. Um, Magical entertainment for elites. In settings like the Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, nobles or magical elites enjoy exclusive shows. Aes Sedai using one power for displays. Commoners, however, rely on mundane entertainment like dances or puppet shows. The resort's magical amenities might cater to wizards or tourists, but local villagers likely lack access, making Zanzibar tricks novel. Okay. So at least this is kind of telling me I can still kind of do what I want without much much problem with like logic or whatever. So and really that's kind of what I was mostly what I was looking for. Um, okay. I'm just looking at my other monitor. I have the IRC here on the right, on my right, along with like the restream window and OBS and Discord all over here. Yeah, thanks for listening, Rook. Any of that helps. Okay, so implication from Zanzibar's con since magic is limited to wizards and similar classes, enchanted lands are entertained by mundane acts. I rarely see magic because Zanzibar's sleight of hand or fake mortal spells can impress them, especially in a tavern like the Gilded One. See, I'm not going to use it like the direct thing. I'm not going to copy his deal, its deal, like Earth Magic and whatever it says. It's a thing called the Gilded Wand, and which is fine for a name, I guess. But a tavern setting lets Zanzibar target a small, less skeptical crowd, using charisma to sell his con. Bitcoin, guess where it went? Strict standout is non-magical. Locals don't often see wizards perform. Choices: run a rigged card game. Okay, yes, that's probably along his lines. Rigged card game. Cutting locals into betting coins. Sell fake or charmed coin. Perform sleight of hand show. Now he was in a hurry, so he's not gonna have like a lot of props and stuff. So anything that he uses is gonna have to come from the land itself. So coin vanish trick, passing it earth spell. Want to lock in the tavern setting. Refine the con's execution. Okay. So okay, I gotta think a little bit. Okay, so he's still got Corvus with him. Corvus goes with him everywhere, so he flies with him into the portal. Um, so okay, so he can do a thing where maybe he doubles his gold or something, or maybe he turns lead into gold, or let's see, that old thing of turning like lead into gold. Although you'd have to have something. Hmm. Okay, firstly, although he could have stolen the amulet from the drunk wizard. Let's see. He doesn't. He didn't really do that, or I haven't decided whether he would or not. He didn't have much on him as he was escaping police, but he does have his pet crow, Corvus, which actually usually does the actual, which who usually does the actual thievery. With him. But other than that, anything that he uses props or otherwise has to come from Enchanted lands. Acknowledge you're finding Zanzibar's con scene, clarifying that didn't necessarily steal the Quicksilver amulet from the drunk wizard, still undecided. Has little on him while escaping police except his pet crow Corvus, who typically handles theory. Any props for it? Okay. Market trinket, grabs a shiny bauble. Yeah, no, he could steal stuff from actually someplace in there. In fact, he might do a little magic trick and slip something away from somebody at like a market, like a street market. Market trinket. Zanzibar grabs a shiny bauble, a polished stone, a cheap charm from a nearby market stall in the village, claiming it's a mortal relic. The seller using the trick. Picks up tavern object, glowing candle, a room marked mug, pass off his magic prop for sleight of hand. Corvus the crow snatches a small item, glittery button or coin-like disc from tavern patron's pocket, which ends where he uses a magic prop. Yeah, this is actually what I was thinking. This is one of the things I was actually thinking myself in my head. One of the things he could do. I was thinking, well, okay, so what if he did this thing where he asked him to give him a coin, and then he turned it into 2 coins, right? Well, how would you turn it into 2 coins if you didn't have the other coin, right? Well, you'd still need to steal it somehow. You didn't have the other coin on your person, so you can't make the switch there. So, but you do have Corvus, and Corvus will actually do the stealing. So, in a sense, you could do a deal where Corvus manages to steal a coin and gives it to him. So then he can have 2 coins, basically. So I can just do it like that. Choices, run a card trick, of course, stolen trinket, from sleight of hand, tavern setting the gilded wand suits non-magical locals, or wild by Zanzibar's tricks. Of course, rogue can steal a propped. Non-magical locals are entertained by mundane acts. Okay, this is giving me some ideas, so I will go ahead and figure something out here. Okay. So, I do have some ideas now. Okay, yeah, one thing is that he can actually sell something. Of course, could steal something. You could sell it. Of course, could steal coinage. Um, um, he's got to be real good at. I could do a thing where Corvus like cuts a hole in the purse of the person he's fleecing, um, where the coins fall out. So when he sticks coins in, the coins fall out. But then at the end, it'd be really easy to catch somebody doing that. You know, realizing that you lost all your coins and realizing who was the only one that had the coins, which would be Zanzibar himself. So uh, I have to establish a thing where his character is that he's very good at what he does. He's a good scammer. He can usually get away with it. Just because he didn't get away with it in Las Vegas, it's just because they've been on to him for a long time, and eventually he slips up. So eventually you slip up. But when you're in a new place, you don't tend to slip up, right? So you tend to be good until you get used to things and you kind of let your guard down and that sort of thing. So that being said, let's think about this for a second. Does a few tricks from first locals he sees in some random village. Gets his crow. Of course, still from locals. So I actually have it already built in that Corvus is going to steal something. Okay. Um, maybe. Well, you're not gonna have something with taxes. You might have like a rich merchant or something though. He might have bags of cash. So that could be a deal, right? Um, okay. I'll start with something here. Of course, I want to leave this part here. I want to leave that, which is the original text here. We're starting. Okay. Uh, bar. Okay. So he's got to be able to get coinage in the first place, like a few coins, like to kind of start with. Because he can't literally can't produce something out of nothing. He's got to get it somewhere. Um, I was gonna have him like follow behind, for instance, like it's a rich merchant, right? This wagon, you can tell is a rich merchant. Let's see something here. Yeah, if you're a rich merchant, you probably have your thing guarded. You wouldn't be able to see inside to where the money is stored. He'd either have money on his person or he'd have it in a safe, or it'd be like buried underneath something in his cart or something of that nature. So, um, let's think for a second. Bum. What could he do? What could he do? Okay, so because I'm thinking, what would be a great con to con somebody out of some money, um, when you don't have any money to start with? Because you can always do a thing where I mean, I could do the old 3 card Monty thing, right? He knows how to palm stuff, so he'd know how to find the queen, right? Like 2 jacks and a queen, and or 2 kings and a queen. It really just depends, but it's the 3 card Monty trick. Somebody might have seen that there, maybe. Let me think for a second. This is the thing where you kind of have to have some knowledge about stuff. For instance, an illusionist, a magician, you have to have know how certain things work. Hmm. Yeah, guess I guess I do kind of need some knowledge of magic too. That would help. I don't know if Grok knows anything about magic. I mean, other than whatever text it was trained on. Um, how certain tricks work. Kind of an interesting use case for AI. Teach someone magic based on whatever you were trained on and whatever your cognitive abilities are. Just out of curiosity, certain magic tricks leveraging my knowledge of base and reasoning to break down their mechanics. I'll focus sleight of hand tricks that could possibly use tailored to impress uh features of the mechanics. Coin vanish, false transfer, how it works. Magician appears to place a coin in one hand but secretly retains it in the other using misdirection. The classic method is the French drop. Hold a coin between the thumb and fingers of one hand, pretend to grab it with the other, but let it drop in the palm of the first hand, closing the second hand as if it holds the coin. Open the empty hand to show the coin vanish. And actually, I kind of know about that. I've actually seen it where you can actually see them do it. In other words, you don't necessarily see where the coin goes, but you see that the fact that they didn't actually transfer it into the other hand. You can actually tell it. Um, yeah, yeah. I guess. I mean, I guess that's kind of like the basic, like a basic magic trick that you do, anyways, right? And you get them to bet thing. I bet. You know, and I could do that with a coin too, couldn't I? You'd have a deal where um you tell them ask if anybody has a coin and um if they could make it disappear and then reappear, could they keep the coin kind of thing? I mean, that would be a simple deal. That's not even scamming anybody. That's just doing a magic trick. Card force, riffle force. Force the spectator to pick a specific card while seeming to offer a free choice. In the riffle force, the magician holds the deck with a pre-selected card, Ace of Spades, on top, riffles the deck's edge, and stops at the card when the spectator says stop, ensuring they pick the known card. The magician later reveals it in pocket or in a mug. Grabs the deck, forces a card on a guildable merchant, predicting it's under a room marked mug, conning coins for his prophecy. Why it works. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen that card. That doesn't explain to me how it actually works, and maybe Grok doesn't know or can't figure it out. I mean, that's possible because there's certain things that I still can't do just yet. They're almost where they can do anything, but they're not there yet, quite yet. White works. Okay. Disappearing objects in cloth. And actually, I don't even need to know. I just need to know the trick. I don't need to know how it even actually works. Disappearing object in cloth. Trapdoor napkin. Place an object on a cloth or napkin, wraps it, makes it disappear by letting it slip through a hidden fold or pocket in the cloth into their hand or lap. Misdirection. Tavern napkin and a small trinket. Cord swipes. Patron's ring. He vanishes the ring, claiming it's sent to the Earth's realm, and sells fake return spells for coins. Why it works. Non-magical patrons, unaware of sleight, believe the trick is magical. Okay. Perform a coin vanish. Run a card force scam. Vanish trinket and napkin. This magic here is rare. Could send it as novel, especially if they claim they're mortal magic from Earth or stealing props. Ties in the sleepy role without needing the Quicksilver amulet. My knowledge includes magic trick mechanics from public sources. Up to my last update, I can reason through how they'd work in your setting. No performance skills here, but I can break down the sleight and misdirection. I'll think about it for a few moments. Still have to think about it. That's kind of the problem. That's also the problem with progress, right? And the problem with just like streaming the whole process. It might be better if I do some stuff offline and then come back and I just give you an example of how I do some thinking for some stuff. Um, I mean, I have actually showed my thought process up to this date, so it's not like I'm hiding it. You know, the actual process to go through. The process is going to be the same for no matter what I'm thinking of. Um, so if we can get Corvus to seal a single something. Um, okay. Okay, I just thought of something. Okay, so what happens is now Zanzibar could steal bunches of coins. That would be kind of a big deal, and he'd have to do this big setup, and so he doesn't really want to do that at first, anyways. He just wants a little something to start with. So let's say, for instance, let's say he only needs to start with one coin, right? Corvus has to steal his coin, so what I could do is we'll try the tavern deal. So they're at a tavern, and he'll go into the tavern too. It won't be a choice. At least I don't know. Maybe I'll do a choice thing later. I'm not sure. But so he goes in this tavern and assesses the situation, and he noticed maybe a patron walks up to the bar and um maybe he had just sold something, so he's got this big bag of coins to start with. So he drops it on the desk, and it opens up, and he asks the bartender for whatever liquor, your best ale or mead or something. That's an interesting thought. I don't even know what kind of alcoholic beverages are typically in like what um are there any kind of hard liquor in a medieval or fantasy setting? Like you wouldn't expect someone to
to ask for a whiskey in um, a tavern in a fantasy story. But here it's the only few drinks I can think of for fantasy is stuff like ale and mead and maybe mulled wine or some such. I'm just asking this because he's in a tavern, um, and so you're curious about hard liquor in medieval fantasy settings to ensure that we're lead. You think typical fantasy drinks are ale, mead, or mulled wine, or wondering if something like whiskey, pit, or other strong drinks might exist. Hard liquor exists, but often region-specific, tied to local ingredients or given unique names and match the world's aesthetic. While ale, mead, and wine are staples due to their historical ease of production, distilled spirits, hard liquors appear in many fantasy stories, novels, and games reflecting real-world, medieval, and modern distillation practices. Here's a rundown. Brandy. Of course, brandy. I know what brandy is, so brandy would still exist. Distilled from fermented fruit, grapes, apples, plums. Brandy was common in medieval Europe and fits fantasy taverns. In fantasy, it's often called fire wine, plum spirit, or a local name. Example: The Witcher characters drink Mahakam Spirit, a dwarf-made brandy. In the Song of Fire and Ice, summer wine or arbor gold sometimes implies stronger distilled drinks. Apple fire, apple brandy. Apple brandy sounds good, actually. In the tavern, using the drink as a prop. Guess what cup hides the coin? Uh, Whiskey-like spirits. Oh, this is another thing I could think of. You have an empty cup, and you see a like a coin somewhere, and what do? You take the cup and you put it right over the coin, uh, hoping nobody sees, and then you got a coin. But what I was thinking, see, this is what I was thinking of. So a guy comes in, he's strong uh, after some sort of sale. He's got this big bag of coins, and he slams it down on the table, and it kind of spills open a little bit, and a couple fall onto the counter, and then, you know, give me a flagon of your finest ale or something, some sort of thing like that. And while he is faced kind of away from his gold, he doesn't think that somebody would come and steal his gold anyways. And if they did, they wouldn't necessarily like steal a coin, or maybe somebody would kind of come up. But you expect that it'd be easy to spot a kind of a person that did this. So what I was thinking of is um, I was thinking that maybe Corvus somehow is on the bar, and they kind of really don't notice Corvus there. I mean, you kind of would notice if a crow was there, but they don't really notice, and so he hops around, and then he hops onto a coin, and then grabs the coin, and then flies back to Zanzibar. And Zanzibar now has a single coin, which he can actually use to help him make more coins, basically. Um, okay, apple fire. Distilled from grains, barley, rye, whiskey-like drinks existed in medieval times. Early aquavita, aquavitae, were less common than beer or mead. Fantasy settings often include grain spirit or firewater. Example: The Name of the Wind. Pact Rothfuss characters drink barley wine, strong ale, or unnamed spirits at taverns. Dozen Dragons mention fire whiskey in some settings. Barley spirit could be served in Guild 1. With Zanzibar claiming his trick mimics fiery magic to impress locals. Vodka are neutral spirits. Distilled from grapes or potatoes, these were rare in medieval Europe, but appear in fantasy as white spirit or clear fire. Slavic-inspired settings use them heavily. Examples in The Witcher: Rivia vodka or dwarf spirit is a potent clear liquor. Dragon Age has characters drinking strong aqua. I don't know how you pronounce it. Aqua in taverns. Zanzibar could swipe a bottle of Clear Spark from the bar using the sleight of hand. So I could just kind of like make up names almost. that just kind of sound legit. It doesn't even really need to be accurate to any like particular setting or something. This is just a kind of a standalone like a Magic Kingdom, and it's comedy and it's fantasy and it's it's not really tied to, it's not like high fantasy or epic fantasy or something. It's just it's what it is. It's like it's just a little story basically kind of thing. Distilled spirits infused with herbs, spices, or roots. Early gin, absinthe were medicinal or recreational in medieval times. Fantasy gives them mystical names like elixir or moonshine. In Mistborn by Ryan Sanderson, taverns serve potent herbal drinks. The Elder Scrolls has skooma, a fantasy drug liquor hybrid. For Yale, starroot liquor could be popular in the tavern, with Zanzibar claiming his prop. Core storytelling is infused with its power. Uh, Fantasy specific liqueurs. Invent unique drinks tied to magic or culture, like dwarf brewed spirits or Elven cordials, to avoid anachronisms like whiskey. Example: Lord of the Rings, dwarves drink strong dwarven ale, implying distillation. Discworld by Terry Pratchett has Scumble, a dangerously potent apple spirit. For Quicksilver Spirit, yeah, maybe. Uh, Quicksilver infused spirit. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I mean, I'm using Quicksilver for everything else. Why not? Why not for an ale? I really wasn't trying to get that deep into the deal. The idea is, um, this guy comes in and he plops a bag of coins, and so I just wanted to think of whatever the things that he could ask for. He has a bunch of money and he wants something strong, and he wants something expensive, basically. Historical basis. Distillation was known in medieval Europe. Aquavitae vitae by monks, 12th to 13th century. So hard liquor is anachronistic. Fantasy settings amplify this with magical twists, e.g. enchanted stills. Entertainment context. Non-magical locals in enchanted lands enjoy ale and mead, but taverns often stock stronger spirits for variety and status. Zanzibar tricks can stand out if he claims they're mortal magic tied to a rare liquor's mystique. Tavern by the Gilded Wand, pages drinking a strong apple fire, Quicksilver spirit, create a lively atmosphere, making them gullible to Zanzibar's cons. Okay, so I had already come up with an idea here where the patron comes in and slams a bag of gold coins onto the bar. I was mostly just thinking of what kind of thing you would ask for. Maybe he just sold something for a lot of money. Maybe he's a big guy and he wants something hard and strong. I mean, I could always do, give me a flagon, right, of your best ale or something. The bag of gold coins would come open and spill out onto the bar, and could could um could swipe a single coin. This is all Zanzibar needs to turn into a fortune, basically. he might do a trick where he claims he can double demands. That still won't work though. I'm just thinking. He can double. He can take a single coin and double it. Now, I didn't think this through 100% because even though the trick is successful, that is, he has a coin, he takes a patron's coin and then does a little sleight of hand to double it. But this doesn't actually steal anything. The goal would be to get someone else's money by pretending they're increasing it with magic. Maybe the idea is he could do he could do one or two. Maybe it would require more than a few coins. Maybe courses have still more than one coin. But start off small and then say double it, and then he's saying then let somebody say, can you take this and you double it? If you double this, I can give you I'll give you half of it, or something. Or I'll give you a bit. I'll give you some or something, some extra or whatever. But then I have to figure out, well, how does he make it look like it's doubled, and but then take part of it? Okay, so you got solid idea. Chorus Pet goes swipes one coin, Zanzibar uses this coin for a trick, claiming he could double Patron's coin with mortal magic, but you're noting the trick doesn't actually steal anything since he's just showing sleight of hand. You call for Zanzibar to con someone else's money by pretending to multiply it. Uh, the town serves drinks like ale, mead, or possibly hard liquors. Refining the con, set up a burly merchant who just sold something valuable. Uh, Demands a strong drink, maybe good silver spigot, fire root liquor, fitting fantasy tavern vibe. His spilled coins gives Zanzibar an opportunity. Con mechanism performs a coin doubling trick. French drop or double sided coin prop using the stolen coin and a patron's coin, doubling it by revealing two coins when hidden in his hand. To steal, he convinces multiple patrons to invest coins for him to multiply, pocketing extras while showing only one double result. Practices mortal magic to non-magical patrons, claiming he can multiply their wealth. He collects coins from several, coin each, and I'll double them all. Performs the trick to show success, but keeps most of the collected coins. Perform the coin doubling trick. Uses chlorine so okay. Doubling it. Spin a wealth multiplying tail. Stage a rigged bet. Unique shots, put silver in the strongest you got. Okay. Shows one doubled coin using his sleight. Pockets the rest, claiming
More takes time. Non-magical locals awed by the trick don't suspect a scam. Okay. Uh, yeah. Well, I'm just thinking about this and kind of going, okay. So they give him the coins. How does it show double? And then does he? Is there a way he gives them back? Supposedly gives them back their coin, but he doesn't. That doesn't really work. Hmm. Okay, so um, I can use something like that, but I still don't see how it would logically work. Okay, so you do this in such a way that it looks like the coins are doubled. Now the patrons are going to want their coins back as well as the doubled coins. So how do you trick them into thinking they've gotten they've gotten double their money? It's kind of funny because I'm actually asking it to do. Uh-oh. I wonder if I ran out of time today. I bet I ran out of time today. I didn't think about that. I mean, it's okay. It's almost time for me to quit anyways. Got it. Your concern is the logic patrons expect their original pockets profit. Can work logically. Make the con effective as Zanzibar needs to create an illusion of doubling coins while ensuring patrons don't immediately demand all the coins back, allowing him to keep the extras. Here's the breakdown. It's off. Okay. Double any patron's coin with mortal magic. He collects coins from multiple patrons. Trick mechanics. Using sleight of hand technique like a French drop, where he pretends to place a patron's coin in one hand but hides it. Really incorporates his coin as a double result. Zanzibar shows two coins to create the illusion of doubling to avoid uh, giving back all the coins. He claims doubling spell is unstable and requires a ritual to stabilize new coins, asking patrons to leave their coins with him briefly. Alternatively, he runs the trick as a group bet, where only one person wins the double coin and the others lose their stake, letting him keep most of the coins. Okay. That would work. Group bet. Misdirection. Charisma misdirection. Distract patrons. Um, Patron's coin. Collects coins from others. Claims the new coins need stabilizing ritual. And pockets most before slipping out. 2. Run a group betting scam. Bets patrons he can double a coin. Shows the trick. Gives one patron double coins. 2 from the pool. And keeps the rest as lost bets. Pick a magical demonstration. Huh. Yeah, that would work. Uh, hmm. Not really sure, honestly. Um, I mean, I don't know if that really works that well. Okay, so okay, I just thought of something that might work because some of this I don't know. Some of this I don't think would fly. Um, you keep the other coins. You say that they're mishap, whatever. I don't know if any of those would fool anyone, but the the most unknowledgeable and and what? See, how do you spell copy? There we go. I mean, this is probably the right spelling. It's just and uninformed and unexperienced patron. So unexperienced versus inexperienced. I could say inexperienced. I'll say inexperienced, I guess, because that's unexperienced is not really a word. So I could play it more of a risk, like betting or gambling, where um, and you couldn't do it with a big. In other words, you could take the guy with the big bag of coins, and you'd say, "We try it. You may lose it, or you might get double, right?" And so, but then he loses it, and so because it was so big, he that somebody might get mad if he did that to them. But if you did it on a small scale and just kind of gathered little deals here and there, um, I think it would work. Where he so you could claim sometimes the magic doesn't work. So it could double for someone, but not for someone else. So maybe he has some magic items on him too. So like a flash paper, and he's got some matches and stuff, and so he can do a little something. Uh, so basically, he could let someone win and um, let another lose, and do this with basically small-ish denominations. Um, do smallish denominations so that someone wouldn't get mad if it was a large amount. It's kind of what like the 3 card money does, or the pea in the walnut shell or whatever, the shell game, right? Where you move the shell around and the pea is going to be in one of them, and so if they pick the wrong one, then you get to keep their bet.
well, I can do a similar. It would be a similar thing to this, but it would use his a little bit of illusion to actually work it. In which case, he'd do the doubling trick, and it would work for some, and it wouldn't work for others. Um, I think something like that could work. You know, that might require more than just a single coin, but um, then he would make he would eventually make enough for a small stake, and then increase his his act to the point of where Corvus can outright steal um, items from patron from his audience. I think that might be the best way. It'd just be kind of a combination of sleight of hand and the gambling aspect, and a little bit of flair for the dramatic. A little bit of entertaining, and that way he could kind of scam people out of money. It wouldn't be like a scam because it would still be entertaining, but it's a trick. Since it's a trick, that means he can make it work or not work at any time. Okay. Uh, Except for the coin doubling trip would fool anyone, most naive patrons, so you're leaning toward framing it as a risky betting or gambling scam. Zanzibar claims mortal magic sometimes doubles coins, but may fail, letting one patron win, get double coins, and another lose. He uses small denominations to avoid anger, building a small stake, and then escalates his acts so curve suspect who could sell items from the audience. Setup. Okay. Coin is a prop. Mortal magic gamble to double small denomination coins. He claims the magic is unpredictable, so some win, some lose. Execution. Zanzibar collects a small coin from multiple patrons. 5 patrons, 1 copper each. Performs sleight of hand trick, fridge stop, doubling one person's coin, using Corvus. Uses one person's 2 coins as a winner, and keeps the rest, claiming the magic failed for others. He repeats this, amassing a small stake, and then escalates to a bigger act where Corvus pickpockets items during the distraction. So the difference here is he's not doing it just purely for entertainment, where they give him money for entertaining them, but he actually kind of scams some of them out of money by and this is kind of how con man work anyways, right? It's kind of how the shell game works, right? In fact, the shell game sometimes you use like a hustler, right? Like a hustler, um, like somebody that's never done it before, right? So you go in and you do the thing, and somebody that supposedly he doesn't know at all comes up and says, and he does it, and he picks the right one, and so he's successful, right? Uh, and then you rope somebody else in. Somebody else in has money. They bet a little bit of money. You let them win a couple of times, and then you let them win enough that they're confident that they give you more money, and then they lose that money, and it's usually more than they won originally. And that's a con, right? It's actually a con. It's not. It's actually still stealing. So this is a con what he's doing. So it's similar. Uh, Coin double and gamble. Collect small coins, doubles. Okay, so see, it's 3:30. It's about time for me to end for today. It looks like I only got 1 page done, and even that was just half a page. But we'll see. We'll see if tomorrow I can get. Um, Thursday I might not be streaming Thursday because my dad's got a some sort of doctor's appointment, and it might take all day. So either I'll be able to do it early in the morning. I'll be able to get online early. But then I have to leave early, or I might not do it at all. But I think I might try to do it early on Thursday. But tomorrow I'll be on tomorrow and see if I can do at least see if I can start doing at least two a day, 2 pages a day, like going through two things a day. If I could do that, then at least it would only necessarily take a couple of months to get through the rest of the pages. If I could do more than that, then that would be a bonus. And so I don't know. I have to figure out some way of doing fast. Um, I think this will do for now. It gives me an idea. It maintains his character as a con while at the same his character as a con as it's still a confidence scam. It's sort of like the shell game where the P or 3 card Monty is underneath a shell, and then basically you let someone basically you have someone come and win, and then someone else that might be a little gullible comes in and you let them win for a little bit, and then when they start risking bigger money, that's when you make them lose. So this is a similar effect. Make it look like it will work more times than not, and then it doesn't, and usually you gathered enough, you scammed enough for your until next time. Use a coin doubling trick to let some patrons win small amounts. Building trust, he then lets gullible patrons lose on bigger bets, pocketing their coins before moving on. This maintains common character if it's a non-magical local impression ability, magical limited world. Zanzibar in a tavern uses coin stolen by Corvus to run a mortal magic coin doubling scam, letting one patron win small coins to draw in others and making gullible patrons lose larger bets, collecting stake before slipping away. Choices involve running the gamble, staging a bet, or escalating to course stealing trinkets or all leveraging the tavern's rowdy vibe. We know you're back tomorrow whenever you need to refine the scam. Thanks. Will do. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually okay. likely around. Okay, that's all right. So now that he's in Enchanted Lands, he figures. He starts figuring out a new con with the help of Corvus. He secures a few coins. He secures a few coins. And then runs a coin doubling scam, letting a few patrons win until they start putting in larger amounts, where sometimes the magic doesn't work, stating they gamble until he has enough to expand his operations. Okay. Okay, we're gonna leave it like that. File, save. Okay. And now I'm gonna do my little recording, and then I'm gonna end the stream. Okay, so let's start recording. Today is Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. And today, what I did mostly was I filled in these based on the notes I had yesterday. There's 3 different places he can go that Zanzibar can go to. Going to the Lilliputian Hotel, he goes to their convention site and goes through a portal that way, taking the last cloak and going through. If he chooses the Plethyskew, of course, he dives behind a snack cart and moves it along until he's close enough to the portal to leap in. And if he's at the bar, he convinces an old drunk wizard, to show him his magic, and which gets him into the realm. And so today just I was discussing what part of it was discussing with Grok, but trying to figure out what kind of scam and magic stuff could Zanzibar run on the local population, and I did come up with something which I have in the notes here. And that is a coin doubling scam. So he claims he has this magic where he can double the amount of coins, and so he lets a few people win, and then once they start betting more, they lose the larger bets, and eventually he amasses a large enough sum, and usually it's low enough that they don't get angry. And being that it's a tavern and it's set up as a gamble, which it is, but where he controls everything, sort of like the shell game where the the dealer is the guy that's controlling the P, and sometimes doesn't let the P slip in so that they can't win, that they lose, and that's like a confidence. That's a scam. So I'll be adding pages here to Zanzibar's first time here in Enchanted Lands tomorrow. So that's about it. Okay, and that's about it for the stream, and I want to thank everybody for listening, watching, whatever. Rook, thanks for putting me on the background. Bomb, thanks for, hopping in and watching it, and thanks to everybody else that kind of idles in either Rumble or YouTube, and but still watched or listened. And I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll try to do another page. I'm gonna try to see if I can again try to do more than one page. Maybe I can get. Shoot, if I could get up to 4 pages, and that's still asking a lot because I have to think up stuff, and so I may not be that fast at coming up with the items, but maybe I can time myself. If I can do that, that means I can get done with this phase in about a month. So that's what I'll be shooting for. and we'll see. And so, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at? Okay. Thank you sign, right? The thank you. Okay. Thank you for watching.